We're cooking up a great Friday Valley dish. Today, Chef Dustin Christofolo is making a sausage and pepper sandwich with a yummy potato spread. Happy Friday and welcome to 12 News Valley Dish. Well, the chef who's cooking with me today is brand new to the show. So before we introduce Chef Dustin Christofolo from the house at Secret Garden, let's hear the answers to some of our tough questions.
I was just kind of born into the business because my grandpa, he owned a bakery when I was like 4 years old. So I really have like distinct memories walking into the bakery, those fresh aromas of the dough, being able to grab some bread off the rack. It's still hot. You crack it open, you dip it into some butter. When I have some free time, I love to go wakeboarding. I'll go out to like Saguaro Lake or the Bartlett Lake, and it's nice out there. I'll even go in during the winter time too, because the water's a little bit better. It's a little bit colder, but you get nicer water. There's some times where I'll just go home, and even though I'm not like the biggest fan of, you know, ordering delivery pizza, I'll still order some. I'll just relax. I won't worry about anything, won't worry about cleaning up afterwards. I would say for my family and friends. It's true because, you know, I see them all the time, and, you know, I'm very close with my family and friends, and, you know, I want to make them happy and I want them to enjoy what I'm doing for them.
Welcome back to 12 News Valley Dish. I'm your host, Celeste Rodriguez. Dustin is ready to make his sausage and pepper sandwich. His recipe, along with others we feature on the show, can be found online. Just go to valleydish.azcentral.com. Here are today's ingredients. 2 roasted bell peppers, red, yellow, or orange, whichever you'd like. 3 Anaheim peppers, a little salt and pepper, 6 fingerling potatoes, 1 bunch of fresh parsley, 5 Italian sausage links, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1/4 cup of milk, 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese, a 1/2 cup of butter, 1 tablespoon of red pepper flakes, 1 baguette, and Dijon mustard to taste. I love Dijon mustard. That little tangy.
It's got a little sharpness to it.
Yeah,
Really
I like it.
Cuts through the richness.
So he was giving me kind of this 101 on Italian sausage and how to cook it. And what's the first thing to do? And you talked about grilling it versus cooking it inside.
Like I was saying, because not everybody has a grill at home. So if you don't have a grill at home, you can definitely do it on the pan. You still want to get the nice color on each side. And you can see right here that we have the nice grill marks. And I like to do that because I feel like it just adds a little bit more flavor to it. This right here is a Diatri Italian sausage. So it's actually a local sausage, so it should be very fresh and flavorful. But I'm going to go ahead and start off by cutting it. And you like to get about 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch slices of it.
Okay.
And another thing with the sausage is I don't like to poke into the casing before I cook it because it really releases all of those flavorful juices during the cooking process.
How do you know when it's finished?
Well, you know, you can cut into it, but like I said, if you cut into it, you're really going to release those juices. So what I like to do is I've worked with the sauces quite a bit, so I'm pretty good at telling when it's going to be finished. But what I'll do is I'll cook it, I'll get the nice color and the nice marks, and then I'll let it sit so all those juices get locked in the sausage. And then I'll cut it open. If it's not completely finished, I'll just go ahead and I'll finish it in the pan.
Which is what we're doing here.
Absolutely.
Now, we were talking about putting these peppers in here, right? Do you want me to do that right now?
Will you please do that?
Okay.
And then you can go ahead and put it on the heat as well.
Great. And these are roasted peppers.
These are roasted peppers, and we actually have an example of what a roasted pepper looks like. Right here we have a roasted pepper, and it doesn't look too appealing at first because the skin is still on. But after you peel the skin, you get those beautiful colors that come out, and it actually makes the colors a little bit more vibrant.
We were talking about ways to roast peppers.
That is correct.
What's you like specifically just putting it right there on the open flame?
Yeah, you know what? And I was also thinking too, after we discussed that you can do it in the oven as well. You can just throw a little bit of oil on it, throw it in the oven around 350, and just make sure that you keep your eye on it, that it doesn't cook too much.
Will it roast all the way around?
You know what? You're definitely going to want to move it around in the oven and maybe turn the tray around just a little bit as well.
And I was sharing, you know, that when, like, we make tortillas in our family, we have, like, I guess in my family they call it a placa, but it's, you know, I kind of roast peppers there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he gave us a tip, you know, afterwards, what should you do with the pepper to kind of, so the skin easily falls off?
Well, what you want to do is you want to put it into a bowl and wrap it with some saran wrap and let it sit for about 30 minutes, and it really just creates a lot of moisture and the skin just falls right off. So it's very easy to clean. And then of course, once you're cleaning it, you want to make sure that you cut into it and you get all of those seeds out of there too, because those are just a little gritty when you're eating the sausage and peppers.
Okay, great. And then we have, talk to us about these fingerling potatoes as well.
Well, these are organic fingerling potatoes. They are in season right now out of Colorado, so I definitely take advantage of that when they're in season because they're so much more flavorful in my opinion, and they're a little bit sweeter too, so they have a little bit more of that depth. And they're just kind of fun to work with, and as you can see, they kind of look like fingers too. So
and we're gonna mash these, right?
We're gonna mash those, but let me go ahead and get this milk started too. I like to warm up the milk with the butter.
Whoa.
Oh, there we go.
That's why I asked him to do it. I said, Dustin, you take over. I don't want to burn the milk.
It's not a problem. It's still not burnt, even though the pan got a little freaked out. We're okay.
And if it happens, maybe and that's a good tip that I actually learned on this show from a lot of the great chefs that come on, is just removing the pan off of the heat.
Right away, absolutely. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that back onto the heat, and then I'm just gonna let the butter kind of slowly melt in there. You don't need to rush that. But once that is melted and we pour it into the potatoes, it's gonna make it really easy to mash, and it's gonna make it a little bit creamier because you don't want it too dry when you put it on the sandwich.
Now, we were talking about, I said, what happens if I burn the milk? Well, you said milk doesn't really burn.
Yeah, you know, if you reduce the heck out of it and it really got really thick, then you could definitely burn the milk, but it would take a little bit of
You would really have to be trying.
You would have to neglect it for a good amount of time, that's for sure. But it's possible.
This is a great idea too for, and I just thought it's maybe like mashed potatoes.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
you know how you put cream and butter and mashed potatoes, heating them up together, and yum.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes if your potatoes sit for a little bit and they're not as hot as they originally were, that's when it's a good idea to mix that or to heat it up.
Now the fingerling potatoes, I said, what about russet potatoes? Like, could you use, like if you had a couple at your house?
You could definitely use that. You could pretty much use any kind of potato that you want. Like I said, these are just in season right now, so we have a ton of them at the restaurant, and I just wanted to use those up.
And you said you said they're a lot of different varieties.
There is a lot of different varieties, and you can see that this one's really unique because it has like a purple color on the inside of it, so I think it's a little bit more enticing to
even this one. Look at that one.
It is, and they're each different in flavor too, which is great. So I like to have fun with them, and you know, you could go to Whole Foods and check out their fingerling potato spread, and really, like I said, just have some fun, experience some new flavors. Pardon my reach for 1 second. I'm gonna go ahead, I added just a little bit of extra virgin olive oil because I wanna get a little bit moisture, and then I'm just gonna add a little bit of parsley, and I'll also add some parsley to the finished sandwich as well.
And we were talking about, you know, like we said, you know, like my husband and I will make maybe 2 Italian sausage sandwiches, and then you have, you know, 3 or 4 left over in the package. You said you could do several different things with this. It's very versatile.
Yeah, you can have some fun with it. You can actually just cook them all off if you'd like with the peppers, and you can just put them in the refrigerator. Maybe if you have some spaghetti sitting in the pantry, you can pull that out.
That's a great idea.
Just make a little tomato sauce, and then all of a sudden you have a wonderful pasta. You can also do bruschetta with it. You could put it on a skewer. Like you said, it's very versatile.
Yeah, that's good. Good stuff. And then right here, you said, do we put cheese in now or later?
We're going to go ahead and pour this in, and then we're going to add the cheese to it while you're mixing it.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and pour that in. Not the full amount, because every potato is different in size.
Yeah. Look at that.
There you go.
It really does get easier when you add in that.
And it's going to absorb all of that too. So I'm just going to add a little bit of cheese, and like Parmesan cheese, it's a good substitution for salt too because it's got so much flavor to it. It's like a seasoning.
It does have. Sometimes I just do Parmesan and angel hair.
And angel hair?
Yeah, and a little extra virgin olive oil.
That works.
Like, yeah, I mean, you're right, the cheese is really...
Isn't it funny sometimes how the simple dishes are the most tasty dishes?
Yeah, and you were saying that how you got started cooking, and we saw on your in your profile that the story we shot with you was with your grandparents.
Yeah, with my grandpa, actually, who introduced me to sausage and peppers. And, you know, it was really just simple the way that he cooked it. He would cook it in the pan. He wouldn't even take the skin off. And he would usually do it with the pasta, or he would do a sausage and pepper sandwich as well. And if you really don't like Dijon mustard, that's fine. It goes really well with just butter and maybe a little bit of olive oil on the bread as well. So that kind of simplifies it just a little bit.
And we were talking about your grandfather. This is kind of where you got the recipe. This isn't something that you guys actually offer at the restaurant. It's something that you like.
It's something that I've been doing at home for such a long time, and even my mother too. It's just like a go-to dinner option when you just feel like doing something that's very flavorful and very simple.
Yeah.
So it works out.
This Italian sausage, I mean, it's yummy.
It is very, very tasty. It's got a lot of flavor to it. This one's a mild one. If you like it a little bit spicier, you can get a spice sausage as well. But I kind of like to control the spice myself. That's why I add a little bit of red pepper flake to that, and maybe I'll just add a little bit to the sausage too.
Okay, so can we start putting it together? Do you mind if I start? Okay.
That's not a problem. We could definitely do that right now.
One for me. Okay.
All right.
And so the first, you said on the bottom. Put the potato spread.
Let's put the potato spread on the bottom. And you don't really need a ton of it because it is so rich. Absolutely.
It's a big butter knife.
Hey, it's a chef's knife.
Big butter. Okay, here we go.
And you want to do it on the bottom.
Okay. I had to make sure I was on the bottom here. I had to check out that baguette a couple times. Okay, so I love spread and sauce.
And
so
sauce?
I'm going to put a double portion.
There you go. That's not a problem. And everybody's got their own preference, too. So this is something that you can really make it your own if you'd like.
Yeah, and you said, like, you don't have to add the Dijon mustard if you're not a big fan.
You know,
maybe regular mustard?
Regular mustard and just some butter on the bread toasted in the oven. It is really, really tasty.
And you were saying, when we were talking about how you learned to cook and everything, you actually spent some time in Italy.
Yeah, I took a cooking school. It started off in New York, in Manhattan, which was a fantastic experience. They have amazing restaurants out there and amazing chefs. But then the program finished up in Colorno, Italy, which was just north of Parma. And it was really interesting to see like the American Italian style compared to the traditional Italian style.
That was neat.
So I learned a lot. It was a great experience for me.
We got flying Italian sausage here, flying off the cutting board. Okay, so I just top it on, right?
You're moving right along. Yeah, go ahead and just put that on there.
Can you tell I haven't had lunch?
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
you're ready to eat, aren't you?
Can I have this now? It smells great, and you can hear that sizzling.
Yeah, it's sizzling a little bit.
That's actually a great idea, like if it's not done, just to finish it off inside.
Yeah, definitely.
Then it doesn't get too dry.
That is very true. All right, so you've got yours all equipped, and you can actually sprinkle a little bit more parsley on there if you'd like, and if you like it spicy, because I heard you talking about chilies earlier, you can put some more red pepper flakes on there.
Oh, that's a good idea. Ooh, I'm gonna need some water.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll just kind of sprinkle a couple. And that's it?
And that's it. You just put it right on top, and you're ready to go.
This is kind of neat for the fun, for the kids to do, kind of fun for them to do, even if they maybe don't like super spicy. Like I asked them about even like apple chicken sausage or something like that. You said that might be a good idea to try out.
Definitely, because there are some people that don't eat pork, so you can definitely experiment. And like I said, just make it your own. And this is really just to give people ideas and for them just to have fun when they're cooking in the kitchen.
All right. Do we need to put these in the oven, or are they good to go?
Yeah, we can put these in the oven just to kind of get the bread a little toasty and get everything warmed up. We've got a sheet pan right over here.
There we go.
Put those on there.
Okay.
And then I'll go ahead and...
Here we go.
All right, good teamwork.
And you're a good team member, Dustin.
I appreciate it.
Okay, and by the magic of television, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We put them in the top and we take them out of the bottom.
Plate might
it
be
is magic.
A little warm.
Oh wait, it is a little warm.
Okay, I've got a towel right over here.
How long would you leave it in the oven?
I would leave it in there for about 2 minutes. You want the outside of the bread to get a nice crunch, but not the inside. You still want it to be soft.
Okay. There we go. Ooh, that tray wants to sit. Okay, let's try this out.
All right. After you.
After me, gladly. Thank you.
Thank you.
You heard that crunch? It was really good. I love the Dijon.
Welcome.
I don't take girly bites.
That was a good bite. That really was.
As big as yours.
Nope, maybe even a little bit bigger.
Okay. Thank you, Dustin.
Thank you so much for having
I'm thoroughly enjoying this right now.
me. Me too.
All right. Well, we just tasted a sandwich. It was delicious. We're going to take a quick break. Be right back.